Hi everybody. Today is day 37 of my vlog. Following Jesus is the theme, and it's a follow-up on yesterday's God's leading is obvious from Deuteronomy 1:33, which said that God would lead us by the impossible to miss, the obvious, fire by night and cloud by day. And we saw that the problem wasn't God's leading isn't obvious, it's that we can't see it because of what we want, what we're afraid of. But today I want to look at a trap that I think Christians easily fall into in their desire to follow Jesus. The following two quotes are from Bob Goff in his book, Live in Grace and Walk in Love. I've mentioned it before in the vlog. And it says, the first quote is this: following Jesus is way more exciting than studying him. I just love that. Following Jesus is way more exciting than studying him. Just ask Peter. He got to walk on water. And then the second quote is this: Jesus didn't say, study me. He said, follow me. Let me say that again. Jesus didn't say, study me. He said, follow me. There's a big difference between the two statements. I cannot imagine the children of Israel up against the Red Sea with the Egyptian army pressing behind them, ready to kill them. And God opening up the sea and saying, here's the way, go. And they're saying, I think we want to study this for a while. They just followed. They got in and they went. You and I, our world is pressing us up against the sea. We're often not even aware of it, but it is a crisis all the time. And Christians make the mistake of saying, I don't know enough to be a witness. I don't know enough to serve and to love properly, so I'm just going to go to church and study a little bit more and take another discipleship class and take another witnessing and evangelism class. Or even worse, Christians might do this. They might be studying like mad, reading Christian books and going to Bible college and Bible institutes and Bible studies and listening to sermons, and think that that's actually following. And it's not actually following, it's studying. Following Jesus is to know him. It really is to know him, because when you follow him, you get to know him in experience, in practice, in intimate ways. If you're not following Jesus in service and love, if you're not doing it that way, you're not being his hands and feet, you really don't know him. I think that's a great statement. In fact, the information you take in is often deceptive to you. I mean, it might be accurate theology, it might be accurate Bible, but it's filling your head with useless information because you're not following. It produces pride. It produces division. Read the book of 1 Corinthians. Chapters 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And in chapter 3, Paul says to the Corinthians, you say you follow Paul, you follow Peter, you follow Apollos, men of God, you're listening to them and you're learning, but he says truth is you're carnal and fleshly. 1 Corinthians 3, 1 through 4. You've deceived yourself. In Colossians 2:18, Paul puts it this way: believers can be beguiled, that is, deceived into a false following of Christ, a form of humility, a form of worship even. But he says, but you're vainly puffed up in your fleshly mind. That's not following. At best, it's studying. And James puts it best. in James chapter 1, verse 22. He just says it very straightforward. He says, be ye doers of the word. Go out and serve and love people. Witness. Do it. And not hearers only. That is not students only. Deceiving your own selves. You could also, if you want, take a look at Hebrews chapter 5, verses 11 through 14, where Paul says that you don't know half what you think you know, because you need to go back and exercise what you do know. That is, do it. So in closing, I want to put this question to you. Are you an observer of Jesus, a studier of Jesus, a student, or are you a follower of Jesus? That in that following, does it show up in love and service for him? May God bless you today.